Yesterday or last?
Last week's. Oh God, thank you. It was last week. This one in the original schedule, we do it back to back, but because you were not available, we had to accommodate. So thank you. So, well, the last week's session, the first session of the series of three, was about difference in approaches to communication in different cultures. We discussed two things, which is low context and high context. Low context meaning your message strictly in words and is not affected by any other gestures or indirect stances, whereas high context communication is influenced by a lot of other ways, like changes in pitch of tone, silence, indirect stances, gestures, facial expressions. Everything influences high context communication. And Indians by nature, majority of Indians by nature are high context. That doesn't mean all Indians are high context. This is not, the research does not refer to an individual, it refers to a larger group. So majority of Indians by nature are high context. So why do you think Indians are high context? Any guess?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Why are we high context? Any guesses?
They are
Because we
mostly
always,
positive
sorry,
minded.
Positive mind.
because we
What do you
always
mean?
have to explain to our parents why we were doing what we were doing, even now.
Yes, yes, you're right. It's the upbringing that makes us high context.
Flaws
And
of our DNA.
yeah, it's a part of our DNA. Yes. We become high context because we are constantly told in childhood, don't say no. Na mat bolo. Don't talk loudly. Don't ask questions. Don't question your teacher. Listen to your mother. Listen to your sister, right? We're always asked to be good kids, right? And if we did anything other than that, we would be labeled as brats, right? So that's there in our DNA, like one of you were rightly saying. But here, what we end up doing is we end up applying the same approach of communication at business also. Just because we are that, we are high context, and we apply the same here in business. And there is a popular saying in India which goes like this: Atithi Devo Bhava. All of us believe in that? Yeah.
Yes.
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 So the people that we are working with, to translate it for Mehmet's convenience, Atithi Devo Bhava is guest is equal to God. Yeah. So we look at all guests as forms of God. So let me ask you a question. The people that we're working with, are they your Atithi? Are they your guest?
Are we
Not it.
guests today for your session?
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot. I'll answer this towards the end.
No, I think Madhuri and Mamit are our guests,
Oh God, no,
They had to
no.
impart the knowledge.
I'm going to clarify that after this discussion. So the people that you're working with, are they your guests?
No, they aren't. No, they aren't.
No.
No,
They are not. What are they then?
Colleagues.
Okay,
colleagues.
colleagues. Please keep the words coming.
Colleagues, so business
Partners,
representatives,
partners in
stakeholders.
crime,
Okay.
Ah,
whatever you might
thank you.
call.
I got my word. Stakeholders. Everybody you work with, the cross-functional people, your clients, your team, your boss, your manager, anybody and everybody, we call them stakeholders. What does that mean? What is the meaning of the word stakeholders?
With some expectations, some objectives, we join predefined things, or during the discussion, we'll come out with all those expectations.
Yeah,
And
we
also
have
person who is responsible for to take some actions.
yes, mutual
Every
stakes.
everything, everyone is in it for what's in it for me. Simple.
Yes, absolutely.
This
So
is
the
our
relationship is mutual. Today, you're not our guest. We are not your guests. Does that answer you?
Yeah, what's in it for
Perfect.
me?
Yes.
Perfect.
So now, when you're working with people, your stakeholders, they're not your guest, right? So Atiti Devo Bhava does not apply here. And if you want to respect them, standing up, saying a namaste, or calling them G, all of that is fine. But undue accommodation in the name of respect, the businesses cannot afford. Agree, disagree, thoughts?
Yeah, business will be business always. We can't say guest, right?
Yes.
Business partners are partners.
But whether it's business or not, I mean, in general, especially in Indian subcontext of culture or Asian culture, you'll find respect for elders, respect for people with authority, or maybe hierarchy, is something that comes naturally.
Naturally, yes. But again, having said that, even if it is disagreeing with somebody elderly, somebody high in rank, a disagreement must happen if it must happen, right? If you are disagreeing, you have to disagree and you don't have a choice. But probably you might want to disagree in a more polite, more diplomatic fashion. But yes, you can't be silent just because they're elderly, they're higher in rank, and you are an Indian, right? That's the conclusion. And the second discussion we did was around approaches to persuasion, holistic and specific. We spoke about a particular approach called top-down approach, proposed by Barbara Minto, who is an executive communications coach, who says that we must use this approach both in verbal and written communication. State your answer first and then follow it up with 3 reasons, not more than 3, and then back your reasons with appropriate data. This is what we discussed last week. And she also says that when you use this approach, you are less likely to digress from the main point. And this approach gives a proper structure to your speech and thereby giving more clarity to all the people in the room, right? These being the primary benefits. We said if you are inside a smaller group where everybody is holistic, you're doing a brainstorming session, it's fine to be holistic. But while you're presenting, when you're certain about a particular answer, and you have to put it in specific style, particularly to specific approach stakeholders. That is what is going to make sense to them, right? These are the 2 points of discussion in session 1. And now is Q&A, a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, concerns, disagreements, we can take them. And we'll follow with today's session. So silence is a high context way of saying no questions.
Yes, exactly.
No questions.
You got it.
So yes, I'll hand over the mic to Mamad. Please go ahead.